Okay students, so in this video we will be talking about some pricing techniques. As you know, if profit maximization is the goal of a firm, so it will use a marginal principle, but sometimes these firms adopt some other pricing techniques because profit maximization is not the only goal for these such firms. So let's start today's video. These pricing techniques can be divided into three categories. First is cost oriented pricing, second is competition oriented pricing, and third one is pricing based upon other economic considerations. So these are three different categories. In every category there are 4 to 5 pricing techniques and we will be talking about that. So first one is cost oriented pricing. In cost oriented pricing, what happens? The base on which price is fixed by the producer is the cost of production. So we will use cost of production as a base and then we will decide our price. So these are 4 types of pricing techniques. We will be discussing one by one. First one is cost plus pricing. Its another name is full cost pricing. It is also named as markup pricing. These techniques, this technique which has these different names is given by Hall and Hitch because they found that these firms are not aware about the marginal principles even. So how these firms are fixing their price? Their price is fixed by this formula: average variable cost plus gross profit margin. Gross profit margin is actually total of average fixed cost and net profit margin. What does it mean? When you are producing a commodity, so per commodity variable cost is covered, then fixed cost is covered, then you are adding some profit margin. Whatever margin you are willing to earn on this product, you will add that. For example, per commodity average variable cost is suppose 10 rupees and average fixed cost is 5 rupees. So 15 rupees is cost of production, average cost of production, and you are adding your profit margin here. You can add profit margin randomly, then you can revise it if you are not able to sell the product in the market according to your planning, then you can even revise your profit margin. So you will fix your price in such a way that this price is covering fixed cost and variable cost, and still it is giving you some profit. So in this way you will add some profit margin in it. Though finally it was also proved with the help of these equations that the end result of markup pricing, full cost pricing, is just like the marginal principle. Anyways, we don't need to go in such detail. Let's talk about another pricing. Next is marginal cost pricing and incremental cost pricing. These pricing we have already discussed in previous chapters. In marginal cost pricing, we use the formula marginal cost should be equal to marginal revenue, and in incremental cost we calculate our price on the basis of bulk increase in the production, maybe by 10 units, maybe by 100 units. So these are marginal cost and incremental cost principle. Next is target pricing or rate of return pricing. This is actually a refined version of cost plus pricing. In this particular pricing, we fix a rate of return on maybe on cost, maybe on total sale, maybe on investment. Suppose we fix our return by 10%, suppose. So every time whatever is the cost of production, we will add 10% of it in it, and price is fixed. Or maybe depending upon the total sale, means if total sale is fixed, means you have to sell 10 units, so you will fix some rate of return, that on every unit you need this much of a return. Maybe on investment you can fix this percentage. If you are investing 100 rupees, on 100 rupees you are willing to get 10 rupees back. So in this way you can use any base and you can fix rate of return on this. Next is program pricing. This type of pricing, program pricing, is popular in actually trading. Means you are not producing the commodities, you are only buying and selling them. So you can fix some return or profit margin on this. It may be some percentage, and whatever is the price of this commodity to you, you will add that profit margin in it and you will sell in the market. So these were cost oriented pricing. Now let's talk about the competition oriented pricing. Okay, as you know, most important variables on which your pricing is depending upon are either the level of competition or the cost of production. So now we are talking about competition oriented pricing, and our first strategy here is going rate pricing. What is going rate pricing? Whatever price of that commodity is going on in the market, you will follow that only. If your cost of production is not allowing that price, means you feel it is so low, then you will try to adjust your cost, or you will try to control on your cost. Because if you are not calculating the things and you are only following the price which is already going on in the market, that is safe for you and that is less expensive also, because you don't need to calculate the data. Next is loss leader pricing. This is very interesting technique of pricing. When you are selling multiple products, then you will choose one product as loss leader product and you will charge a very low price. Though you can charge a high price on this product and still you can get a profit on it, even maximization of profit is also possible, but still willingly you are not charging that high price, you are charging a very low price so that consumers can get attracted to that product, and if they will come to your shop to purchase this product, they will purchase some other products also. So in this way, by using this technique, you are selling only one product at very less price, but you are compensating this loss by selling other commodities to the market, to the consumer. Next is trade association pricing. This type of pricing is found in the market where producers want to avoid the uncertainty, and to avoid the uncertainty there are collusions among the farms and they fix some price which is acceptable by all. But sometimes in this type of market, when pricing of one producer can affect other producers also, in such type of market sometimes two things are happening. One is some farms, without informing other farms, they are charging a lower price in the market and other farms don't know about this. That one is violating the whatever was the collusion. Second thing, sometimes there is price war. Once one farm is going for a lower price, when other farms come to know about this, they will also start charging a lower price. And when price war is there, because every firm is charging a lower price to compete other competitor, finally no firm will be having a good profit. Only consumers will gain. Next is customary pricing system. In this type of pricing system, sometimes for years some products have some fixed price, and if you charge a different price, you cannot sell in the market, so you have to adopt the same price. For example, for many years price of tea was 5 rupees, so everywhere whenever you buy a tea you always pay 5 rupees. If your cost of production is increasing and it is not possible for you to sell your tea on 5 rupees, so if you cannot sell your tea in 5 rupees, what will you do? You will reduce the size of tea, you will reduce the quality of your tea, but you have to charge the same price until unless the next higher price, I mean suppose 10 rupees is not so much ordinary thing in the market. So sometimes some commodities are charged same price for years, and there is a custom in the market that this product is of this much rupees. Next is price leadership system. This type of system is found usually in oligopoly market, where one big firm which is dominating firm and also having a very low cost will fix the price, and all other firms are following same price. Even small firm will charge the same price. Sometimes it happens that these firms are not exactly charging the same price but very near price only. Whenever this leader firm is changing the price, I mean increase in price or decrease in price, these firms will follow the direction. It is not necessary that they will be charging the same price, but change in price will be in same direction. And usually it happens when this leader firm is increasing the price. Sometimes when there is a case of decrease in the price, it becomes complicated and some firms may not follow this. But when it is about increasing price, these firms will follow the leader. Next is cyclical pricing system, or you can say cycling pricing system. This type of pricing system is found when your pricing is not only depending upon your cost of production, but you are charging a price according to the environment, economic environment. Whatever is happening in economic environment, you will accordingly fix the price. So if cost of production is changing but economic environment is same, you will try to adjust your cost of production and you will not change the price. When price of substitutes are changing, then you will follow this trend, you will also change your price. Sometimes when a general price level is changing, overall increasing prices are there, though your cost of production is same, but still you will increase the price. Market share, sometimes your pricing is depending upon the target of keeping your market share. So you don't want to lose your market share, that is why you are changing your price and not according to cost of production. Then there are some other determinants also, like national income or disposable income. So you will follow these economic environment means phenomena, and then you are fixing your price. Next is imitative pricing system. When you are blindly following price charged by some other firm, how it is different from the price leadership system? Because price leadership system is found in oligopoly market only, but imitative pricing system you can find out in any type of market when you are only following the price charged by some other producer. Next is turnover pricing system. Turnover pricing system is a system when your markup on that product is very low. Why your markup is low? Because this product is high turnover products. High turnover products means speedily you are selling them. As you are buying these commodities, immediately you are selling them, so that these products not occupy space in your storage. So you want to sell it immediately. So that is why you want to buy and sell with speed. You will charge a lower profit or a lower markup on such products. Next is pricing based upon some other economic consideration. So these are some points which are not related to cost or competition. First is administrated pricing system. When government has fixed the price, obviously you will follow that only. Then dual pricing system, when your prices are partially administrated by the government and partially it is free. So in this situation you will charge a double price or a dual price, because in some area you have to follow the government rules and in some area you are free to charge any price. So this is dual pricing system. Then differential pricing system means you are going for price discrimination, and this price discrimination, I mean you are charging different prices, maybe according to time, place, use or quality. Other than these, some other pricing strategies are also there. These are some other pricing strategies you should know. Stay out pricing. What is stay out pricing? If you have no idea about what price you should charge, but you have planned some quantity you want to sell in the market. Suppose you want to sell OQ quantity in the market, you will start charging a very high price. You are not able to sell this much, then you will decrease the price. Again you will decrease the price. You will doing it continuously unless you reach on that price where you are able to sell that quantity which was planned by you. In this way you will be selling this much quantity on this price. Next is price lining strategy, where you are selling different sizes of same product. You will fix the price of any one product, and according to the size, price of other products will be automatically fixed. For example, suppose on small size you are charging suppose 500 rupees, and if someone is buying other sizes, then every time with one higher size you are charging suppose 10 rupees. So automatically on medium size, on large size, on extra large or double XL, automatically prices will be fixed. So you are fixing price of one size only, and you are fixing how much you will increase with increase in size of that product. Next is psychological or odd number. So what is psychological or odd number? In this type of pricing, if you want to charge 80 rupees, you will not charge 80 rupees, you will charge 79 rupees. You are reducing by 1 rupee only your price. But in mind of consumers, this price is not in 80s, this price is in 70s. So in this way you can use this type of pricing system also. Next is limit pricing. This limit pricing is there to avoid the potential entries of firms. Means if you charge a profit maximization price, this profit which you are earning may attract other firms and they can enter into the market, and there will be uncertainty. So to avoid this type of uncertainty, you may charge a lower price, and you may fix the limit on your price which you are charging. Okay, two more types of pricing are remaining now. Skimming pricing, when you are launching a totally new product in the market for the first time, you charge a very high price. because you have no competitor. So whatever is your cost of production, still you can charge a very high price. When for the first time Livon product was introduced in the market, its price was very high. Okay, next is penetration pricing. In case of penetration pricing, when already there is a competition in the market and still you want to enter into the market, you will keep your product low so that you can get some space in the market, so that you can establish in the market. This type of pricing is called penetration pricing. So these were some pricing techniques.